Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. Late last night, I had an individual reach out to me, and I've known this person for many years. And if you're watching this today, I want to say, first and foremost, thank you for reaching out. Thank you for asking for help. I had no idea. I had no idea alcohol was involved. I had no idea there was a problem. But I want to reiterate what I told you last night. You don't have to live your life that way anymore. I'm walking, talking, living proof, and I can introduce you to a whole bunch of people that's walking, talking, living proof that you don't have to live that way anymore. But I also want to use this as an example to illustrate to other folks. And I used to say this all the time, a million times. You never know who needs to hear what it is you might have to say, because it could just change someone's life, including your own. That's why you speak up. That's why you speak up. That's why you start the dialogue. You start the conversation. I don't care if you're 30 days sober, 30 years sober. You start talking. And I started after we got off the phone last night, I started thinking about this. I had a conversation with an individual yesterday afternoon. Every Tuesday and Saturday, we go into a treatment facility. And after the meeting yesterday, I just sat and had a conversation. A good, open, old-fashioned, open, honest conversation with an individual there. I was talking about internal dialogue. They asked me, they said, I'm not sure how this 12-step thing works. I'm not sure I even want to do the 12-step things. What's something simple that I can do? Something simple that I can do. Some small, simple step. And I started thinking about internal dialogue, that internal conversation I have in my head. If we look at any type of recovery program, every recovery program starts simply with being honest. An honest program. You got to work an honest program, right? Well, that means we have to have some sort of conversation. We have to talk to ourselves. Yeah, make declarative statements to ourselves or ask ourselves questions. I mean, don't we do that anyway as it is? I mean, God, what do I want to eat right now? Or what am I going to wear? Or, man, I can't believe I did that. That's awesome. I'm having a conversation with myself, right? Sure, it's audible, you can hear it, but I can also have that same conversation with myself in my head. And see, when I was drinking, I had conversations with myself all the time. When I was drinking, the second I'd open my eyes, I'd be like, where's my booze? Do I have enough booze? Do I have enough to get me to my next pass out? Not to the end of the day, but to my next pass out. Do I have enough time to make it to the liquor store? What time is it? Because I'm afraid the liquor store is going to close. I would ask myself these questions all the time. I would tell myself, I'm just going to take this drink just to help me get to sleep. And then I'd wake up like 2.5 hours later with anxiety, racing heart rate, high blood pressure. Couldn't figure it out, right? I spent all this time having this internal dialogue with myself simply to justify my drinking behaviors. That's it. And those of you who know me know my infamous Dayton trip, the Dayton, Ohio trip, where at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning, my son's baseball coach had to pull me out of my truck because I was passed out because my son was getting ready to take the mound. And I remember the conversation from my truck back to the baseball field. Not with Chad, not with my son's coach, but with myself. And that was when I first became aware that I was having this internal dialogue, this internal conversation with myself as I was walking back going, something's not right here. I almost missed my son pitching. My son's a hell of a pitcher. I almost missed my son pitching. I almost missed my son playing the game that he loves to do. Something's not right because my drunk ass was passed out in my truck at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Going back to that conversation I had in the treatment center yesterday with the individual, I summarized it for this person. When they asked me, they said, what's something small and simple that I can start doing? I said, you know what? You can start asking yourself honest questions and answering them honestly. You can start asking yourself honest questions and answering them honestly. See, when I came back from that Dayton trip, I had decided to embrace my shame, to embrace my humiliation. And I stopped lying to myself. No longer was I just taking that drink just because I was having a bad day. No longer was I taking that drink just because I wanted to go to sleep. No. See, I stopped bullshitting myself. And I started being honest with myself, asking myself honest questions. Drew, are you wanting to drink because you got this letter in the mail, or are you wanting to drink just because you want to get drunk? Yeah. I started asking myself honest questions rather than talking to myself to justify my behaviors. And I started answering those questions honestly. And eventually over time, over the course of that 3-week period, that honest dialogue, that internal dialogue I was having with myself started coming out, and I started having honest dialogue with other people. I remember I'd go to bed and my wife would be like, "Are you drinking tonight?" "Yeah, I was drinking. Absolutely." I stopped lying. Sort of. Because she would always immediately follow that up with, "How much were you drinking?" "Well, I only drank a pint," when it was like a liter or something. Progress, not perfection, right? I started having that honest and internal honest dialogue with myself, and it started coming out slowly but surely over the course of the next 3 weeks. Let me point this out to you. If you go walk into your doctor's office and don't say a word, can the doctor treat you? Can they help you? No. What happens if you walk into your doctor's office and lie to them? How effective do you think their treatment plan is going to be? It's not. And that's one of the things that we pride ourselves in with the crosstalk meeting. We're not interested in getting you, signing you up for a 12-step program. If that's what you want, fine, we can help you with that. Absolutely. We're more interested in just beginning to get that internal dialogue going on in your head. We're more interested in getting you to start asking yourself those open and honest questions so you can start answering them yourself honestly. We're more interested in getting you willing to talk and being honest and just having that honest dialogue with us, with yourself, so that way you can start being honest with other people in your lives. That's it. And if that leads to a 12-step program, by all means, we're there to help you along the way. But that's all we're worried about. And I want to encourage you today, if you're not sure that, if a 12-step program is right for you, guess what? The good news is you don't have to make that decision right now. Which program do I choose? You don't have to make that decision right now. What you can do, something simple you can do, is just start asking yourself honest questions and answering them honestly. Begin that internal dialogue. Because again, once you start practicing that internal open dialogue with yourself, an honest dialogue with yourself, it will eventually start coming out. And things will start kind of laying out, the landscape will start spreading out for you so you can see, okay, maybe I need to go this way now. Maybe I need to go that way. Quit using that internal dialogue to justify your behaviors, and start using that internal dialogue to change your life. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I could not be any more appreciative. If there's a topic you'd like to hear discussed, feel free to email it directly to me, Drew, D-R-E-W, at recoveryclassroom.org. We'll take a look at it, see what we can do. In the meantime, guys, remember, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.